Hey y'all, Laura here with Cox Homestead, and today I am going to go over how you can get the largest grow out meat rabbits. That way you're doing the same amount of work for more meat. Today I have with me my newest friend of my rabbitry. This is Bucky, and he is a French lop, and I will be sharing how he is going to help grow my meat rabbits. Isn't he a cutie? He is about 4 months old right now. You can already see he is huge. Look at those giant feet. Oh my goodness. Look how sweet. All right, I'm going to put Bucky in the grass to play a little bit while I chat with you about getting big rabbits. Okay, gotta get that fur off of me. All right, so there's several different things you can do to increase your grow out size. And I'm gonna share with you a few that I have learned over the years and that will be easy for you to implement, and then some that maybe won't be as easy for you to implement. The first one is looking at your breeding stock. When you go to buy a breeding stock from a rabbitry, ask them, what is the live weight of the mom and the dad, or the dam and the sire, of the offspring that you're getting? That will tell you about how big your rabbits can potentially get. So if you're going to a rabbitry and their dam and sire are only about 7 pounds, you're not as likely to get as large of grow out babies. But if you have a dam and sire that are around 10 pounds, okay, the dog is now having fun with the rabbit in the grass, and the cat has came to visit the rabbit in the grass. Let me show you. The dog who's very excited about this and that cat all at one time. So now I've got to figure out how to record in the midst of all this fun. We have to put him in the fence. Biscuit, shh. Buddy, be quiet. Shh, shh, shh. Ah. Let's try this again without hopefully interruptions, but no doubt they'll probably happen again. All right, so you want to look at the mom and the dad of the babies you're getting to see how big they're growing. Some breeds don't grow as big, and then there's some variations even within that breed of rabbits for their grow out size. I have found that the purer the breed, as far as, like, let's say New Zealand's, and you know 100% it is a New Zealand with a New Zealand with a New Zealand with a New Zealand, you're more likely going to get the larger size. Whereas I have some New Zealands that I think have been crossed along the line somewhere. Some other things have gotten in there, and I've noticed they don't grow out as big as fast, but they make for amazing pets because they're super calm, sweet demeanor. And so I keep breeding her even though her babies aren't as big as some of my other New Zealands, just simply because she creates really sweet rabbits that are easier for people looking for a pet to handle because they aren't as big. But starting with your dam and sire, knowing their size is going to be your first step to establishing large grow out meat rabbits. The next option you can do is, when you have offsprings from your own litter, weigh those offsprings at different intervals to see what rate they're growing at. You may find within the litters that you are having that there are some that grow faster than others. And this is something that I have done. I have taken note when I have a doe or a buck that's growing faster than all the other ones in the litter. And those are the ones that I'll keep to continue using in my breeding program. So within your own program, you can do some manipulation to get larger grow out sizes as well. The next option is to take something like a giant breed, my French lop that I showed you, Mr. Bucky, and incorporate them into your standard breed for a larger grow out faster. Now, why people don't use giant breeds alone for grow outs is they grow bones faster than they grow meat. So if you put your hands on Bucky right now, you will find out that he's pretty bony. He's not super plump and meaty. He has a lot more bone than he has meat. Now, there will become a point where he puts on more meat, but in this initial 16 weeks, or 12 weeks is what we do here, he's about 16 weeks old, it's easy to notice that he has more bone than he does meat. But the idea is to take that fast-growing large rabbit, cross it with a standard, and hopefully get larger grow out rabbits. I have a friend that uses a French Lop in her breeding program, and they average 4 to 4.5 pounds dressed weight at 13 weeks. Right now, with just my Truce New Zealand's and my polyface line of rabbits, I'm dressing out around 3 pounds, 3.5 at my max, more averaging on the 2.5 to 3 pound range. And so my goal is to hopefully get this process weight up to that 4 pound range. Wouldn't that be amazing? So I have got this French Lop. The only thing that you have to factor when you're getting a giant breed is you do need a larger cage for them. You have to watch their feet because their feet can get damaged easily because they are heavier on the wire. You have to make sure they have rest pads and they get time outside of the cage. And I mean, they're going to eat more too. It's a larger rabbit, so you have to factor in the feed cost. Another big factor is the price. Most all my rabbits in my Rabbitry have cost me anywhere from $20 to $30. No big deal. Low investment, easy to say yes to. No, not much stress if one passes or isn't a good match for my Rabbitry. You just eat it and move on. This guy, my Holland Lop, French Lop, $150. That's a much larger investment for a rabbit. We're getting in the cost of close to a goat or a sheep at that point, which is going to provide you a whole lot more land management and meat. But being in the business that I am, educating folks like you, and my local 4-H group, and being active in my community and education, I decided that I wanted to invest that money into this French Lop to see if I could get larger grow out weights. If that be the case, then I could sell some of the offsprings, which will be a cross between a French Lop and a New Zealand or a polyface, and help some other folks get larger grow out weight rabbits at a lower cost with my crossbreeds. Another giant breed you can use are the Flemish Giants. They are a common, popular giant breed that you can use to cross with your standard breed to get bigger grow outs. I chose to go the buck route. You could try to go the doe route, totally up to you. My idea with the buck is that I can breed him to several different does to see which one he works best with, and if I can get all those does making bigger babies, versus if I just had a doe and then I would only get the bigger size from that one litter every time, whereas having a buck, I can get bigger litters, hopefully across the board using this guy. Now, there could be a situation where he could produce too large of babies for that mom to birth easily. I'm not necessarily concerned about that, but I may be, this fall when I do it and we have problems, but I won't really know until I try. That's often why people would choose the doe as the large breed versus the buck. But you know what? I figured we'll give it a try, and hopefully my plan will work. I just thought of one more way to get your rabbits larger within the rabbits you're already using, and that is to process at a later date. But there's a caveat to this. Sometimes waiting longer doesn't always equate to more meat. You'll have to check your breed and how they do. We have found that although our rabbits may be bigger at, let's say, week 16 than they are at week 12, they're harder to process and they put on a lot more fat, which just makes for a nasty process when you're going to dispatch that rabbit and to skin and do the evisceration. It just gets a little fatty and slimy and gross, and you just see all that food that you fed them going to fat and not meat. But maybe your rabbits will do better waiting to week 16 versus week 12, and you will be able to get more bang for your buck that way. So those are all the ideas that I have and that I am using and implementing into my breeding program here to get larger rabbits for the same amount of time, the same amount of work, just a little bit higher, sometimes higher cost. Not always if you're using some from your own Rabbitry and just selectively picking out those that are growing bigger, faster. If you have any experience incorporating a giant breed into your Rabbitry, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know if it's worked for you, if it hasn't worked for you, if you have seen a grow out rate increase. Share with me your story. Help others learn. So if you are watching this and you want to check out the comments and learn from other people too, There's a great free way to learn. I hope y'all are doing well. We are taking a break from our rabbitry breeding this summer. We do not breed May, June, July. I'll start breeding back halfway through August. And Mr. Bucky will be ready to love on his ladies and hopefully get us some bigger grow out rabbits. Until next time, eat more rabbit! Hey, if you haven't done this yet, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I would love to hear from you. Hey y'all, Laura here with Cox Homestead, and today I'm going to go over how you can get the largest grow out meat rabbits for the most amount of, hair. Oh, my nose, okay. Okay, bless me. Let me check my notes again.